What up, everybody? Back at you again. You are now tuned into my podcast, Difficult People Chronicles. I'm SF Johnnie, seriously focused Johnnie. Today's message is called The Message Pushback. So, I got a little head cold. I think the thing that bothers me so much is sometimes I feel like there are people out there that intentionally try to get other people sick, where they know they sick and then they just start coughing to make everybody sick. So they feel like if I'm sick, I'm gonna make everybody else sick too. And that's how I got this cold. That's the way I feel. And anyway, just you know what? Start wearing your mask again and your gloves. Your mask and your gloves. Because you don't know what be going through some of these people's minds when they be spreading their germs and coughing out in the open like they don't have a hand to cover their mouth. Anyway, back to this message. So the message is called pushback. When this message came to me, I was in a situation. This message came to me the first time around. I was in a situation where I basically was burning out. I had stuff going on in my personal life and also business as well, where I was just burning out. I know they don't like me, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool. Very cool. Because you know what? God is going to deal with them one way or the other. And the thing that bothers me all the time is that when you have people that are evil minded and they don't want to do certain things for you or honor your requests or whatever the situation is, those are the same people that turn around and when you say no, they look at you like, oh my God, I've been the best friend to you forever and I did this and I did so much for you, I even gave you blood and a kidney. Yeah, they always come with a story. My personal life, I just went to my family and asked for some help with a particular situation, and they were there for me, which I thank God. I thank God. So this message came up again, and I figured it was about someone else because I wasn't going through anything. And what came to me was that someone out there has been used for a long time. So, first part of this episode, I'm going to talk about relationships. And in the second part of this episode, I'm going to talk about in a business setting. So, this person did not appreciate anything you did. They're selfish. The way they think is everything is for them. Self-centered. They always think about themselves all the time. Like, if it's food, it's like, what am I gonna? It's always I, never a we. I. So if you're married, it's I, not we. You know what I'm saying? If you're married with kids, it's I. That's how this person thinks. They do not care how you feel. They don't want to give you credit or recognition for what you have done because you have done a lot for them, physically and mentally. So it's a person, maybe you have a child together or you got kids with an S, and you're doing the bulk of the work. And it could be male or female. You're doing the bulk of the work and the other party don't want to give you no kind of credit. When you stand out in front of people and things is going haywire, they're blaming everything on you. Yes. You helped them out more than you could have ever imagined. You dropped knowledge that no one else gave them. You gave them clothing, food, shelter. You did a lot. You even put yourself out there for their family. You gave a lot of yourself. You even gave them your time. When a lot of times they were just rambling and their stories did not make sense. They left out their part of the story, but you listened and you knew it didn't make sense. You didn't even have to ask questions or go to nobody else and say, does this make sense? You just knew it didn't make sense. You just listened, threw it out the other side of your brain, and just went on about your business, but you listened. This person translates all you have done to little to nothing. Therefore, if you spend 365 days out the year doing for them, they see this as 1 hour and a measly 2 minutes. You are their source supply. They are like an electric car that continues to break down, and you are the electricity. Now you ask yourself, why is the electric car breaking down if you are the electricity? Because you are running low on energy. You getting burnt out. The only thing is well, here's the highlight. You're their supply, but you're low. You're low. Nothing with this person is reciprocated. And that's why this message is called pushback. You got to push back. Learn the art and the technique of saying no. Now, for example, in my situation, all I had to do was push back in one particular area, which was business, and that was it. in this situation that came up, whoever this is, they're going to have to push back twice. Meaning they're going to push back, and then whoever this person is going to push it back in your court. Because it's like they're going to be looking at it like, well, why you can't do it? You've been doing it all along. And then you're going to have to push back again. And you're going to have to say no so they could get it. Give no explanation because this person's a nuisance. Some people do not understand no, and they do not understand when you explain, even if you get raisins and spell it out no. Yep. What's happening now is there are people I'm going to call abusers of your kindness. What I see is you have people around you, okay, like a group. For example, if you are in a relationship, right? Two parties, you and whoever, and then you have these other people, which is like maybe family members. Maybe I'm just saying it's a group. These family members or whoever they are in the group, they all think alike. So they feel like whatever's going in your relationship that you feel is unfair, they feel like whatever the other party is doing is justifiable. So that other party's wrong to you, they feel is justifiable, if that makes sense. Example. I'm gonna just give you a quick example off my head. Let's say you pick up the kids, so you do the carpool, you do the cooking, you do the cleaning, you do the ironing, you do the talking to customer service about whatever family matters and all this other mess, and you do this day in day out. On top of that, you go to work, and then you got to make sure you all done up and everything. And it gets to the point where this person is just chilling, doing nothing, and they cool with that. They don't see nothing wrong with the nonsense that they do. And you start to call them out on it. These group of people, they have this knowledge inside of them. And it's not even knowledge, it's foolishness. It's this foolishness inside their head that they all believe. And to them, it's justifiable. They see you as the person that's wrong. I don't know what age they are. They could be dumb and young or dumb and old. But they dumb. They are all users. And this group, in their situation, like their relationships, they're doing the same things. I don't know how their situations is turning out, but they're doing the same thing. I feel like they're all miserable, but they think this is all normal. If you were to bring this up in a different kind of way, they feel like you stabbing them in the back, meaning your partner, whoever this. If you bring up the problem in your relationship about whatever's going on, they feel like you stabbing them in the back and you doing them dirty and all this other stuff. And it's not. It's you changing. It's you changing position. Like, this is not working. This is not happening. It's not going down that way. Now, here's the thing. Like my situation, I push back. My situation is good because they know me. You know what I'm saying? Some people are in the first stage where they're being used and they're saying, look, this is not normal. This can't be life. This is retarded. And they trying to find a way out. Push back. I'm here to tell you, push back. Okay? There's people in the second stage where they done pushed back already, and this person pushed it back in their court, and they are, I wouldn't even say confused. You know, sometimes people will do things over and then you just accept it like it is what it is. Don't settle. Don't settle. Push back. You're going to have to push back again and say no so they could get the picture. Those in the second stage, now this is where the whole them monitoring you is going down. When you start to change and you're pushing back and you say no, and this is the second time around, you push back, you say no, they're going to start monitoring. Because now, if you're in a relationship, they're going to be like, oh, this person changed. They're going to start asking questions. They're going to start being like, oh, that person's cheating, or mental issues, or narcissist. They're going to come up with some kind of excuse. When you are not around, they're asking questions, and if they cannot find anything, they're going to start making things up. They want to make it look like you're the problem. Yep. So an example, if you step out of a room and they're going to be snooping, they're going to be all in your stuff, your bag, your pockets, maybe even turn over your cell phone and try to look through your cell phone. Monitoring you. Because the devil doesn't like change. That's all I'm going to say. That's the only thing that came to my mind just right now. The devil doesn't like change. The devil wants you to be the same all the time, every day, every day. Yes. The only person to rule in your life with how the devil feels is the devil wants to rule in your life. So the devil wants to have their way, or his or her way, wants to have their way in your life. Want you to do whatever they want you to do. No questions asked. When you start changing, they start getting nervous. So they want to know what is making you think the way you think, so they can flip the script and put you back in line, basically. I'm going to give you an example. There was a job that I was working at where when I first started working, this girl was complaining because every day she would come to work, she would put her food in the fridge, and then around lunchtime, somebody went in her food and ate her food. or piece of her sandwich was missing. And I used to crack up, like, you sure? Like, really? And I think at the time, I didn't think she was hallucinating or anything. It was just like, it just sounded unreal to me. Like, people would actually do that. But there was this guy on the floor. He is like a rat, literally. And he would go in the fridge and eat her lunch. He would, yes, he would eat her lunch. And it was so funny. She was Spanish, and she said one day that she is going to put fiber cleanse in her food. And she did. And he had diarrhea. He had diarrhea. And she kind of felt a little bad, sort of, kind of. But then I said, if you think about it, he can't sue you. Well, he going to sue you for poisoning him? How can a person sue you for poisoning them when they intentionally eat your lunch every day? You announced it on the floor, nobody eat my lunch. Loud and clear for everybody to hear. And he intentionally ate your lunch every day. And then he caught diarrhea. Well, he learned in some aspects, but after that he started eating packaged foods. So he would only eat things that was like packaged up, like chips and stuff like that he felt that wasn't tampered with. Fruits, chips, packaged peanuts, stuff like that. Did that is an example of pushback, but also it says a lot about the person that was stealing people's lunch. It's like, how was you brought up? Who raised you? That you feel you have the audacity to go in people's lunch that they prepared for themselves and you start eating their food. It's like, fool, we ain't family. Get out of here. Yeah, so that was just an example of pushback. But in this person's case, whoever this is for, this message, whatever's going on in your life, you don't have to settle for certain things. You push back and you have to stand firm. You go to God in prayer, you recite the scripture, and you pray without ceasing. Philippians 4:13. I could do all things through him who strengthens me. Yes, go to God in prayer because you're going to need it. You don't want to push back and then the person push back in your court and you give up. No, you push back and that person push back in your court and you push back again and make sure you stand firm and say no. And you got to pray. Yeah, you're going to have to because if you don't, you're going to get burnt out. And this situation can also apply to business where you can be working somewhere or have your own business and someone is not pulling their weight. They are going to come up with stuff for you to do out of the blue because they want you to do their work. Basically, they don't have the balls to be like you and push back on whoever is giving them things to do. So now they're gonna turn around and give it to you for you to do. You gotta push back. You gotta push back. I'ma say it again. If they are a coward and they don't know how to say that this is not my work and this is not part of my job description, that's their business. But what they're trying to do is turn around and put it on you, and that's what just came up to me. More like business as I was thinking about it. It's somebody that is working for a company. It also applies to someone working in a company, and this person is coming to them, dropping work on their desk and saying you have to do this or such and such told me you have to do this. You go to that other person and verify that you have to do it because that work, if you do not verify, you're not going to know that it's not for you. So they just assume that they come and tell you that their boss said that you have to do it and you're going to do it. No, you go verify that you have to do it. Confirm first because this person was asked to do something and they're trying to push their work on you. They feel like they want to burn you out and you're going to sit there and tolerate it. No, push back. I'm telling you, push back. Another thing is that what just now came to me is that sometimes when you work in a corporation, you have people who will they will ask you to do something and you do it just because you're helping. Well, this person is trying to make that job responsibility yours permanently. So make sure you go back to that person and say, this is not my job. I just helped you out one time, but it's your responsibility. You're gonna have to tell them that because they think they slick. They're asking you for help, and you're helping them out of the kindness of your heart, and they're gonna push it onto you as part of your job responsibility. This happens sometimes. You have some people that go for a job, and they new on the job, so they want to show that you know They're part of the team player, all this other stuff. Yeah. And then after a few months go by, you realize you got certain tasks to do that's really not part of your job description because people asked you for help and you helped out of the kindness of your heart. You go back to them and say, no, that this was temporary, me helping you. And yeah, it's not part of my job description. Let them know that off the back because it's really not. That person is taking your kindness for weakness. They're trying to push that task under your belt, even though it's not part of your job description. So there you go. That's the other part. And while you at it, check out my episode called Beat Down because you might need it before you start pushing back. You might be already at that stage where you just like, you know what, enough is enough. And you get like that sometimes. You get like that. So that's it for today. For one-on-one session, hit me up. For suggested topics, email me. Put in the subject box topic and Your Money Matters document is out. So check it out. And what else? I am giving away free 30-minute sessions for 10 people at random. And this promo is for the month of December of this year. So email me sfj.peace@gmail.com to be one of the chosen and put in the subject box freebie. Good luck. And check me out on YouTube, like, subscribe, click the notification, and check out my store. All the links is underneath. Love me more, and I love you more. Later, have a blessed week.